Hello and welcome to FluentWay English. I'm so excited you're here today. If you ever feel shy or unsure when speaking English, don't worry, you are not alone. Every confident speaker you see today once stood exactly where you are right now, at the beginning. And guess what? They kept going, and you can too. Today, we're going to discover one of the most powerful ways to become a confident English speaker. Storytelling. Telling stories is not just for writers or actors. It is for everyone, for you. When you tell a story, you connect with people. You share who you are. And most important, you practice speaking naturally and with emotion. Think about this. When was the last time you listened to a story that made you feel something? Maybe it made you laugh or cry, or dream about a new possibility. That is the power of storytelling, and you have that power too. In this lesson, I will show you simple ways to create and tell short stories. Stories that use words you already know, stories that grow with you as your English improves. Step by step, you will not just speak English, you will feel English. You will express yourself with more freedom and joy. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I could speak English with full confidence? Imagine the doors that would open. New friends, new jobs, new adventures. Learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It is about building a new future for yourself. Every word you learn, every story you tell, is a step closer to the life you dream about. So stay with me, trust the process, speak from your heart. Because here at FluentWay English, we believe that you are not just learning a language, you are changing your life. Let's begin this amazing journey together. Are you ready? Let's go! Why is storytelling so powerful when learning English? Let's talk about it. First, storytelling is universal. No matter where you come from or what language you speak, everyone loves a good story. Stories make us laugh. They make us think. They make us feel connected. When you tell a story, you are doing something completely natural, something that people everywhere understand. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need a big vocabulary. You just need your voice and your heart. Second, storytelling builds confidence. Maybe you feel nervous when speaking English. That's normal. But when you share a story, a memory, a dream, or even a small funny moment, you stop thinking so much about making mistakes. You start thinking about the message you want to share. And the more you share, the more confident you become. Every story you tell is like a small victory, and those victories build up over time. Third, storytelling helps you connect. When you tell a story, you invite people into your world. You give them a piece of who you are. And when people hear your story, they listen with their hearts. They see you, not just as someone learning English, but as a human being with ideas, dreams, and emotions. Storytelling creates common ground. It builds friendships. It opens new opportunities. So remember, your stories are powerful. Your voice matters. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. Now ask yourself, what story will you share today? Because every time you tell a story, you are not just practicing English. You are becoming the confident, amazing communicator you are meant to be. Have you ever felt stuck when trying to speak English? Maybe the words are in your mind, but they don't come out easily. You are not alone. And here's some good news. Stories can help you break through that block. First, stories are relatable. When you tell a story about a personal experience, an emotion, or a challenge you faced, people understand. Why? Because we all feel the same things. Happiness, sadness, excitement, fear. When you talk about real moments in your life, you don't have to search for complicated words. You speak from your heart, and when you do that, English becomes more natural and less scary. Second, stories make learning fun. Let's be honest, studying from textbooks can sometimes feel boring or slow, but stories wake up your imagination. They transport you to different places. They make learning feel like an adventure, not a chore. When you enjoy the process, you learn faster and with more energy. Third, stories help you remember. Think about a story you heard as a child. You probably still remember it today, right? That's because stories create strong, colorful memories. When you learn new words and grammar inside a story, your brain holds on to them longer. Instead of memorizing endless lists, you learn through feeling and connection. So the next time you feel blocked, remember, start with a simple story, a moment from your day, a memory from your childhood, a dream you have for the future. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Every story you tell is a bridge between you and the English-speaking world. And every story brings you closer to the confident speaker you are becoming. You have stories inside you right now. Are you ready to let them out? Now that you know how powerful storytelling can be, let's talk about how you can start using it to improve your English today. First, find your story. You don't need to invent something big or dramatic. The best stories often come from simple, real moments. Think about your personal experiences, your passions, your favorite memories. Maybe it's a funny thing that happened to you last week. Maybe it's a dream you are working toward. Maybe it's a challenge you overcame. If it's meaningful to you, it's a story worth telling. Second, craft your story. Good stories have a clear structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning, set the scene. Where were you and what was happening? In the middle, describe the action. What problem or experience did you face? And in the end, share the result. What did you learn, or how did you feel? Keeping this simple structure in mind will make it easier for people to follow and understand you. Third, practice telling your story. Practice speaking out loud, even when you are alone. Say it again and again until you feel more comfortable. Don't worry about being perfect. The more you practice, the more natural and fluent you will sound. And every time you tell your story, you are building your skills, your confidence, and your voice. Remember, your story matters. Your voice matters. Each time you share a piece of yourself in English, you are not just learning words. You are learning to connect, to inspire, and to grow. So what story will you tell today? Because your journey to confident English starts with just one story, and that story starts now. Let's take a deeper look at why storytelling can unlock a whole new level of confidence for you. First, it's about the power of vulnerability. When you share your story, your real thoughts, your real feelings, you are showing your true self. And that takes courage. But vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful. It shows others that you are human, just like them. When you dare to be open, people don't judge you. They feel connected to you. Second, storytelling builds connection. When you tell a story, you are creating a bridge between yourself and the listener. You are saying, I've been there too, or this is what matters to me. And when someone hears your story, they often see a part of themselves in it. This sense of shared experience builds trust, understanding, and sometimes even friendship across languages, across cultures. Third, storytelling amplifies your voice. Maybe sometimes you feel small when you try to speak English. Maybe you hold back because you're afraid of making mistakes. But your story gives you a reason to speak. It's not just about saying the right words. It's about expressing who you are with authenticity and passion. And when you speak from that place, people listen, not to your mistakes, but to your message. So remember, your story is your strength. Your story is your superpower. You don't need perfect English to make a difference. You just need your voice, your heart, and the courage to share. Today, I want to ask you, what story inside you is ready to be heard? Because when you share your story, you are not only learning English, you are inspiring others, and you are becoming the confident communicator you were always meant to be. Now that you know how powerful storytelling can be, how can you take it even further? How can you make storytelling a part of your everyday English practice? First, join storytelling communities. There are so many people out there who love to share their stories, just like you. Look for online groups, local meetups, or even English learning forums where people tell stories. When you listen to others and share your own stories, you grow faster, you feel supported, and you realize you are not alone on this journey. Second, write your own stories. Don't just speak your stories, write them too. Writing helps you organize your thoughts, practice grammar, and build new vocabulary. And when you write from your heart, you also develop your creativity. Start small. Write about your day, a special memory, or even a dream for the future. You will be amazed at how much your English improves over time. Third, practice with friends. Storytelling doesn't have to be serious. It can be fun. Tell stories to your friends, your family, or even your language partners. You can take turns sharing funny memories, scary experiences, or future goals. When storytelling becomes a game, learning English feels lighter, more natural, and much more exciting. Remember, the more you tell your stories, the stronger your English becomes. The more you share, the more confident you will feel. Every story you tell is one more step toward your dreams. So don't keep your stories inside. Share them with the world. Your voice matters. Your stories matter. And the world is waiting to hear them.